I almost forgot to do this. It's almost like we quit hiking. We are walking out of Wolf Creek Pass. It's been 2 weeks since we've set foot on trail. We've all lost our acclimatization. This sucks, but I think there's a lot less snow here. It looks like that upon immediate inspection. Our opinions on what would happen when we left oscillated between two binary poles of we were going to immediately fall up to our necks in snow and suffocate, or walk 140 unbroken miles to Creede. And I'm starting to lean toward the latter.
It's our first view after the pass, and yeah, we're gonna force everyone we know at knife point to take the red line, because this snow doesn't look anything like what we left. We're going all the way to Creede.
We're here 1.7.
1.6. We'll go with 1.6.
Big day.
Hey, look, I will put my hand up and say when I got here, I said the same thing. Really, guys?
Yeah, but we're here. And we got a whole fucking laundromat set up here. Like, what is going on in this place? The whole party's here, though.
Yeah, I got here in shorts and a t-shirt. These guys.
Got a genuine tent colony here tonight, too, actually.
Who are you calling a colonist?
Been a frosty morning. Everybody's really slow to get up because everything's covered in ice. We move in soon, though.
So the dilemma is this morning, we're gonna try to make enough miles to determine how far we're pushing, because if we don't go far today, the precedent is set and we're gonna have to go to Silverton or something, but ideally we won't have to do that. Clover also seems impressed with the trail. He thinks it's very nice compared to 2 weeks ago. All the people we camped with last night are kind of contemplating taking the Creede cutoff, which is understandable, but that means that the two of us are kind of splitting off for now. We might run into them in a few weeks or a month. Who knows? That's just how through hiking works. So this is the first snow we've hit in this section, and it's not even remotely similar to the same conditions. This snow is packed. Some other poor unfortunate fucks had to do that for us instead of the other way around. It's hard. This is exactly what we were looking for. I could have imagined us 2 weeks ago cussing for an hour trying to work through this, but now it means basically nothing. What a difference 2 weeks can make. So I found this just now in probably what was melted snow from a dead hiker or something, presumably. Wondering if I should just use it or test it out right now.
Was that bear spray? You think I could put it on my ramen?
I think you should try at least. Clover's feeling the altitude a bit, as am I. I guess that's what happens when you take 2 weeks at low elevation, come back up to 12,000 feet. It is nice here, though. I waited here for a while for Clover. I'm wondering, did you smoke your allotted cigarettes today? The altitude getting you?
It might be. A little bit.
How many cigarettes have you smoked so far?
I don't know, only like maybe 7.
I don't think that's enough.
You're right. We should stop right here and have a cigarette after you waited so long.
I don't agree, but you'll get poured on, I won't. This is what we're dealing with. We're walking right into the storm, as you guys know. It's the last thing the mountain will expect. So this junction right here is the junction for the Creede cutoff, which follows these valleys down here north straight to the town of Creede and cuts off about, I don't know, 50 plus miles of the CDT. And people use it in high snow years to avoid some of the worst conditions. But we're not going to do that because it looks good enough for me. We'll see if this is a mistake in a couple days. Like any high performance engine, Clover depends on a very specific admixture of fuel to be maximally efficient. And I think his weed to nicotine ratio is off for this altitude, because I've waited on him like 3 or 4 times a day and he is not moving. He'll figure it out, but it's not helping for now, because I want to get to Creede without running out of food. And the snow's not really in our way anymore. Also, I've been kind of walking along this ridge for a while, and starting to be able to see the switchbacks in this big knob up here, which will be the highest point on trail so far, just under 13,000 feet. So we'll see how that altitude feels. We're getting closer to, you know, nearly 1,000 miles in at this point, and one thing that struck me is interesting about the CDT compared to other long trails like this is that I've seen almost no day hikers. I think I can count the amount of day hikers I've seen on the entire through hike on 2 hands. And I know that'll change when we get to the Colorado Trail in this section, probably. But it's just striking how we can walk through this much country and just no one's out here. It's just odd. For example, right now we're trying to at least make it about 130 miles in this stretch, and I don't expect to see anyone else other than maybe a spare through hiker or 2 that we know already. It's just a crazy amount of distance in such a pretty country for no one to be out here. As expected in the San Juans, a thunderstorm has just kind of come out of nowhere because I couldn't see it coming on the other side of this ridge. And so I'm just down here. I've abandoned my backpack. I'm about 5 feet away from these bushes because I don't want to be in them. And there's a lot of lightning and thunder going around it, and I think I'm going to have to probably wait here for half an hour. Otherwise, I could get fried because the trail just keeps ascending. All right, the storms have mostly passed over, and I've gotten up to this high point. Still haven't seen Clover though, and I can see about a mile down trail, so I might just abandon him. I just met some new folks down there, passed by them. They told me some of the people I know are 2 miles ahead, so I'm going to try to camp with them, maybe wait for Clover. That's one of the convenient things about having people around, at least, is you can kind of give word of mouth messages via like strangers like that. So hopefully if Clover shows up, I'll tell him where I am.
Well, I managed to get to camp with the others right before a rainstorm started. It's not going to be a very social time, but I'm dry.
Still no sign of Clover as of now, so I guess I'll just have to see if he shows up in the morning. We'll see. Just as I thought he wouldn't show up, he beats the buzzer. Right at sundown, Clover's here. He's probably inside his tent doing something despicable, but he gets his alone time. Clover, your motivational speech, Senor Fed.
All 7 of us, and probably others, have walked at least like 600 miles or something. We've all taken shits in these woods where coyotes will dig up the remnants and eat it. I expect nothing less from this crowd. Let's go to the next campsite.
What a crazy narrative that was. 3 sentences in a narrative like that. I've never seen anything like it. So there is still snow after all, but again, not that bad. I haven't post-holed yet, so I'm optimistic. I did too, but this is exactly the kind of thing that catches your eye when you've looked for artifacts your entire life and it just peeks out. Most people wouldn't notice that. All right.
Look at each other. That's why I told you should take a different route. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at this. Here's a closer view of it on top of some cushion so I don't break it or anything like that. But this is probably a middle or late archaic atlatl point or knife. Either way, somebody lost this probably thousands of years ago and never touched until just now. So we split into two groups here. The people below us are deciding to take these north-facing slopes for the next 2 miles through these snowfields. And although it's not that bad, it is a pain in the ass. Rolly and I decided to make our own path. We're going to the south-facing slopes, and we're just going to keep contour and hope we can make it where it'll meet back up to the trail in 2 miles. I honestly think we made the better decision, but we'll see. That's where they're going. And we are up on this death-defying ridge. We're gonna go around the left side of this peak though, and then follow it all the way around there and reconnect. There's actually a trail that appears on the east side of these peaks. We're gonna work through these rocks over here, see how it goes. I think this is good. Not sketchy at all. Thought this was gonna be sketchier than it was. Like we're on a mountaineering route or something, but it's not that bad. Almost out of breath though. Oh my God. Another really weird thing about this area is these cracks of erosion on both sides of the ridge, opening up all over the place. I haven't walked on a ridge like this before. They're hiking down there and we've told them, yeah, this is a great route. It's totally snow-free on the other side. We didn't really mention that it's like 80-degree angle. You really can't see how steep this is, but it just gently slopes off into oblivion here. Back on the trail, caught up with everybody, back into the woods. Not sure what that looks like yet, but we'll see. So this is the infamous knife's edge. Doesn't look that bad. Knife's edge, knife's edge. I'll see how well this video ages. We've got 7 people. That's a lot of chances for somebody to slide down a giant patch of ice and snap their leg in two. We were wrong. This is actually supremely sketchy. We've been sliding down this area It's about 500 feet down here. We're making it though. So one thing that I didn't get, but very nearly did, was a 200-pound boulder started falling and rammed into the side of our friend Shadow, who deflected it luckily, but it could have killed him. So I think everybody's mood is a little bit more serious at this point. I'm not particularly afraid of heights, and I think that kind of helps because not panicking keeps you from doing stupid things with your body when you start sliding, but you know, it is dangerous nonetheless. We decided to cut it a little short today, just about 15 miles after the pass. Everybody's feeling like, you know, we have enough food. We should enjoy the area, so that's going to be it for tonight.